Lionel,
Exactly.
what is up?
I'm good. I'm good, and you?
I'm great. Thank you for coming on the podcast, and congrats on your latest amazing success that I am very, very envious of. With Guardians of the Galaxy, man, it's like I'm just gonna add some like wow noises here, so there'll be like a crowd.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Yes.
Hell yeah! So you're in France right now,
Mm-hmm.
in Paris, the big city
Exactly.
of France. And yeah, man, tell me your story. How'd you come to do what you're doing now? How did you start with music? What's your story?
Yeah. So I started to do music when I was younger, and I played in a band almost 10 years. I was playing guitar, so I'm still playing guitar. And
Mm,
at that time, I met a lot of artists, and I started to do some beats, hip hop beats, dancehall beats, and also some music from Guadeloupe because I was born in a Caribbean island named Guadeloupe. And I was a musician for 10 years. And when I was a musician, I had the opportunity to work with a lot of different artists. And at that time, I had the opportunity to work on a movie, and I really liked that. So following that, I started to do a lot of film scoring, and I was a bit like impressed at first. So I was like, okay, that's cool. You can still do it, but could you do maybe other things that will be related to music or related to cinema? And that's how I started to do thriller music. And at the beginning, it was it was not good. It was mostly epic music, and at some point, I decided to mix like hip hop, to mix dancehall music from Guadeloupe, and to mix that with like thriller music. And I have to say that at the beginning, it was really hard because I wanted to work on every project. So I was really scattered. I wanted to work on like film scoring. I wanted to work on thriller music. I wanted to work on hip hop beats. I was producing music for artists at the same time. So it was really scattered. But at the end, I really focused on thriller music and hip hop for sync.
and that's where you're at right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm
Right.
doing almost that, and it's really interesting to work in hip hop for TV. It's really different to work on hip hop for TV because it's you have more like liberty. Like you can do whatever you want
Yeah.
as long as the publisher likes what you do. So it's really cool. And at the same time, I'm working with a lot of music supervisors, like on thriller music.
Yeah. And it's super cool because you've talked to me about a bit of a different route in trailers that producers can look into. And could you describe that a little bit and how it's different from the typical 50-50 library deal?
When you're working directly with music supervisors in trailer houses, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you have that opportunity, because most of the time you will work with music supervisors who will work with trailer houses. So yeah, I will guess that for most composers it will be like that. But sometimes when you had when you have the opportunity to meet them, like to meet directly supervisors or music supervisors in trailer houses, you got the opportunity to work directly with them. So so in that way, it will not be 50-50 because obviously you will have the full fee. But sometimes you can still have like someone to work on like the administration part for you. Because you need to master all the licensing part too. So at some points you still need someone like to work with you on that juridic part, like all the legal parts. So yeah, you have the full fee, but you still have some expenses for all the legal part.
Yeah, that's
Because
super
yeah, for me,
interesting.
I'm not a right now. I feel that I'm not able to do all the legal part of myself by myself. So I still need like someone to manage that for me.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's you're in that time where it's a crucial part where one needs to consider having a team, having people who you trust, because if you don't work exactly in front of trailer houses, then yeah, you need a team to take care of the other things. It's like an artist, it's like an artist that has a manager, and they have an A&R, and they have marketing and a lot of things around them that
Mhm.
enable them to do what they're best at.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Hmm.
Exactly. And
So
you,
yeah.
you really need to do that because as I'm always saying that we cannot like manage everything. So if you want to focus on the creative part, you really need to have someone who can manage all the business part or all the legal part. So yeah, and for me, obviously, I really want to focus on the creative part, so on the like doing music. So to do that, I had to be surrounded by people who can do the business part, or maybe the communication part, or maybe the legal part, or maybe some I don't know. So yeah, for me, it's better to work this way. Obviously, you will. It's kind of you need to invest on that person's too because you will not have all the money in your pocket. But yeah, it will be like a gain of time for you, like to do what you really want to do.
Yes, so of course it's the definition of investing, right?
Yes,
Investing is
exactly.
being able to put money into something so it can make your life easier as opposed to make you more money, because it'll in the end of the day it'll make you more money because you have more time to invest in in your craft.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you work for trailers, and do you also do work for royalties and things like that? Do you have that kind of setup? What's your strategy with that kind of stuff of having royalty income and front end, like front end, back end? How do you
Yeah.
divide it?
Yeah, that's a tough question because I'm still wondering what's a good like balance. Because yeah, for me, it's like a strategy about having like short-term revenues and long-term revenues. Because as you might know, like royalties, you don't really know when you will receive them. So for me, I'm trying to be like almost 50-50 between short-term revenues and long-term revenues. So short-term will be like fees you will have by doing custom music, for example. Uh, it can be revenues you will have by doing like library music, but they have upfront fees. It can be like maybe mm, uh, sound design library you will sell to like to people, for example. Uh, so that can be that, and at the same time, you can work. And I'm working on like on the long term revenues with royalties, and for that, I'm working mostly on with like two music libraries, and I'm doing almost. I'm doing a lot of different. I'm doing a lot of music styles for them. but yeah, it's mostly hip hop and or styles relative to hip hop. So, but I know that when I'm doing a album for them, it will I will earn money with that maybe in 1 or 2 years, so or maybe more. So so yeah, so I still need to figure out what is a good balance, but for now it's like 50-50 for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I resonate because I have a similar thing where I have a few ad agencies and a few things lined up for me. Then that I know that every month I have income that comes
Hmm.
consistently, and then there is the rest of the work, which is uh, um, for royalties. And then if they can connect, if and that's the biggest thing. Where last year I was saying to myself, that's my goal, to have a library. It was, yeah, a year and a half ago, where I said to myself, well, that's the goal, to have a library that pays me up front,
Hmm.
and then I can make royalties as well.
Hmm.
And I've done the same as you. It's just I had I researched hundreds of libraries and got
Yeah.
to a few
Yes.
that
Hmm.
do this. And then
Hmm.
I submitted that to them, and one was like, "Oh, we don't have cinematic hip hop. Then
Hmm.
we want you to be our hip hop guy."
Yeah.
And that's a recommendation I have for everyone. Be there something guy. And yeah, and it pays short term and potentially long term. I mean, to be honest, a little bit concerned by what's happening. I'm excited as well, but a little bit concerned with what's happening with AI at the
Yeah.
moment, because it's going to such a there's
Hmm.
a lot of discussion around it. And I mean, I'm
Of course.
happy that all the mid journey stuff didn't happen with music, all this,
Hmm.
the lawsuits and all that. It seems like people are being cautious, but I don't know where small libraries are going to be in 5 years.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that's an
I
interesting thing.
agree. I agree. So yeah, I didn't say that, but before to go full time in music, I was a computer engineer. So yeah, so I worked a lot with. I was working in a big company in France, and I worked a lot on AI stuff and 3D, and I work on many different like things in related to computer engineering. And at that time, we really saw that what AI can do. So it was like 7 years ago. I know, maybe less. No, it was 6 years ago. And at that time, I was like, okay, damn, AI can be great. So I was wondering at that time, how can I use AI for my own like stuff? So obviously, 5 years ago, we did not talk. We were not talking about like AI in images or music. So it was mostly for like personal things, like planning, like repetitive task, something like that. And and for me, AI can be a tool. So for us composers, I think it's our responsibility to use it and to make it profitable for us. Obviously, we can't be worried because there is a lot of great examples of what AI can do in music. So, but I think human will do things that AI won't be able to do. And we need to figure out what value we can add to the things generated with AI. For example, graphic designers right now, they are using Midjourney, but they know exactly how to use it. So they are able to sell these skills to clients, but also they are able to explain to the clients why this image can be better than another one, and because they have all the skills about, okay, maybe it's more interesting to use red, maybe it's more interesting to use yellow for these kind of things. So I think it's really important to still develop and manage our skills and use AI as a tool, but to add like a value proposition to clients with AI. So yeah, for us composers, we still need to figure out what it will be. I don't have all the answers, of course, but I think that, for example, if you have a lack of inspiration, and you have uh, like a AI tool which is able to generate a small melody for you, and it can be a good start for your inspiration. So it can be that, or maybe it can be like if you need, I don't know, a tool which is able to print stamps for you, for example.
Oh my god.
It can be like an AI tool which is able to do as a, for example, isotope, which is able to do like mixing or mastering for you, like at least the minimum, and then you
Yeah.
will do other changes, whatever you want to make it like sounds how you like it. So yeah, so yeah, I think AI can be a great tool, but we just need to figure out how to use it.
Yeah, man, that was great. And also, as you were speaking, I was thinking about yeah, things like isotope, and as a tool. I mean, I use it on my master, but then I'm gonna always put an exciter on it, or put an
Yeah.
imager on it, or just like do my thing with it, so it makes sense. Yeah, for especially, yeah, with people who have a good eye, maybe they can become graphic consultants, or I don't
Mm,
know, like they can get ideas from Midjourney. It's great that you're presenting it like that, because I hear a lot of the negative stuff that it does
yeah.
from the graphic design side, because it's kind of hard not to feel a bit bad for what's happening
Mm,
with them right now, because they don't
mhm,
have the copyright that musicians have, which is the soul
mhm,
copyright.
mhm.
Yeah, the soul of the work. And I think that, as you were saying that, I feel like the you know what Pond 5 did, and
Yeah.
like the they did basically, without telling their composers, go and see Jesse Josephson's channel on YouTube. He has it laid down what they did, where basically they told their composers, "Hey, we are using an AI an AI um, algorithm on your stuff." They told them that straight up, and they said, if you want to pull your stuff out, you can, but we've
Mm,
done it already. Basically, that's what they
yeah.
told them. That's what
Okay.
they
Okay.
told them, and it's
Okay.
super weird. And
Mm,
I mean, that's another thing of having good relationships with libraries,
of
because
course.
if they just send you an email blast that says, "Hey, we did it already," then
Mm,
it misses the point of doing what we do, in my opinion.
exactly. Yes. Exactly. And what you are saying reminds me that for a composer, I think it's really important to be innovative. Um, I feel that if you are enough innovative in your music, you will be able to do things that AI will not be able to do. At least not right now. I think it's really important to bring something different to the table. And I'm always saying that in each song, especially in custom music, because the competition is hard, so competition is really tough. And I think it's really important to try, or at least to find like that spark that will give something really original to your track. And if you are able to do, or at least to find like your touch, I think that AI will not be able to copy what like that touch, because as you might know, like AI needs a lot of data to generate something good. So AI will be able to do all the basic stuff, I think, for now. But yeah, if you are doing maybe, I don't know, it can be like a way of doing arrangements. It can be like a different way of doing some design. It can be like a, a way of like, I don't know, if, for example, for drums, if you have your own drums, if you have like you really need to find a way to be really different from others. And if you are different from others, obviously it will be good for you, but it will be hard to copy you.
Yes, 100%. And as you were speaking about it, man, I love it. I'm getting so many things coming to my head, like, um, AI feels almost like the pop music that comes after a hit. So,
Yes, exactly.
let's say, okay, let's say hip hop after Doja Cat's hit on TikTok, the do
Hmm.
do do din do do do, like the arpeggiated, beautiful track. Like I love it. But after that, so many songs. I mean, it almost seemed like Justin Bieber was trying for a moment to sound like that song for a moment. It was so crazy, and it feels like AI is doing the same thing, right? AI
Hmm.
will um, AI recreates things after they're out.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
and that inspires me to actually be more unique and say, okay, AI, you wanna copy me? Well,
yeah.
you'll have to look at this, and then you
Hmm.
have another idea tomorrow, and then you look like this. And I
Yeah,
love it. I love what you're saying, because it doesn't have to be all the elements. I mean, I still use damage a lot. Like I use
yeah,
damage drums a lot,
of
even
course.
though they have been, I'm sorry for the word, they've been raped by musicians. It's just like
Yeah,
they're so prevalent. But let me put a saturator on them and crank it all the way up. What happens then? That,
exactly.
and that's
Yeah,
something that AI um, hasn't done yet,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. And
And yeah.
yes, no, no, no. Go on, please.
Yeah, and I love the way that you speak to it, because even today I was making a track, and I was like, and I was thinking if to take off a vocal, it was sounded a bit weird that I was laying on
Mhm.
it, and then I was like, nobody in the fucking world has this vocal right now on their track like this, you know?
Yes.
It's
Mhm,
like,
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. And that's why I think it's really important to like to master your craft. And yeah, as I was saying before, at the beginning, I was really tempted to work on many different things. Like I was doing like sound design. I was doing beats. I was doing hip hop beats, pop beats. I was doing like music for TV, music for artists. I was doing producing. I was doing film scoring. I was doing trailer music. Even if in trailer music you have different styles. So, and at some point, I feel that it was really difficult to be an expert at what I was doing because I was doing too many different things. So it was like, okay, so I can be good, but I cannot be great at in what I was doing. So at some point I realized that I really needed to focus on like maybe two or three like things, and that's why I decided to focus on hip hop for TV and for trailer music, mostly like hip hop for like every kind of hip hop, but for TV and for trailer music, because in that way I was really able to like to work and like to find a way to be unique because I was working only on that. So I was like, okay, so it's like you are doing some kind of R&D, like research and development. So you're like, okay, what can I do on this track to make it different?
Mm.
And when you have that time, it's a good way to be unique. And to be honest, it helps me a lot. It helped me a lot because when I first reached out to music supervisors in trailer music, I said to them that I'm a hip hop producer who is able to do. trailer music. So if you want me to work with you, give me hip hop stuff, or give me like cinematic hip hop stuff to do, or give me maybe trailerization hip hop to do, or give me something to remix as a hip hop song, you know. And it was really interesting to work in that way, and because it really helped me to find a unique approach to music, and I feel that right now. Um, it helps me a lot to be like different from others. And so if AI want to copy what I'm doing, it will be, I think, possible, but not now. I think maybe in 10 years, maybe in 15 years, I don't know, but it can be possible. But I feel that it's an improvement. We still need, we are still working every day to improve our craft. So if I'm still thinking about new ways to be different, I think AI will not be a big problem for what I'm doing, of course.
Mm, mm. Yeah, man.
Because as
It
you said,
feels
AI
yeah.
will be for all the basic stuff. AI will be there as you were saying. So we really need at that time, and really, it's really important today that we find our unique way to do music. It's really important to be like to like to be like to stand out.
Yeah, I feel like we have so much in common, bro. It's amazing. I mean, also started guitar. I used to play jazz guitar,
Yeah. Okay.
and a lot of neo soul and hip hop and jazz and jazzy stuff. And yeah, it came to a point where I started seeing all my tools come out in trailer music, and it made so much sense. And as I said, once I found that niche, I didn't need to be the one knocking on doors because I'm
Exactly.
like I'm here, I'm
Mm-hmm.
here and I'm doing something unique, and you can check it out, and it's just beautiful to see how, I mean, like, for tens of years. I mean, I've been making music for 20 years now, and it's
Mm-hmm.
for tens of years I've been kind of struggling, going from here to there to here to there. But then suddenly, when one thing clicked, like when the right click was made, it
Mm-hmm.
all falls into place. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna do it forever, but the thing, as you were speaking, that I was thinking of, AI may be able to predict what I'll do next in my style, maybe, and it'll get there to where it knows what maybe I will do in my next tune, but it won't be able. I hope it won't be able to predict what happens with me next. If I decide to make pop tomorrow, then it'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh shit, I can't read that. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
let me learn that, and then
Yes. Mm-hmm.
um
Mm-hmm.
so it brings me to, I mean, what skills do you feel like you brought from the IT world, from the work that you've done with engineering and all these things? What do you feel like you've brought into music from doing that?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a very interesting question. Um, I think the most important one is project management, because I was a project manager. Sorry.
Mhm.
Sorry. So I was a project manager. So I really had like organization skills, and it helps me a lot at the beginning, because when you are starting like to work full time in music, it's really hard to be organized, and like because you are on your own, so you really need to find a way to plan your days, uh, like to be productive. So I would say first organization skills, and the second one would be communication, because I sorry,
Okay.
I had to deal with a lot of like reporting to directors. I had to to do a lot of presentation to people. So communication was really important, and it's almost the same when you are working with music supervisors or clients. You really need to develop good communication skills with them, and so I feel that this is the second most important thing I'm using right now. So yeah, I would say that two things. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, there were like five things there, but yeah, uh, yeah, it makes sense. So, I mean, how would you say you were also talking to custom music competition, right? And that it's a
Mhm.
very a competitive world. How is it? What's it like, that competition, and how do you feel like you stick out because you obviously are doing something right if you're getting these placements? So how uh, how do
Mm.
you look at that?
Um, for me, it's because we were talking about being unique. Um, I know that now music supervisors are reaching out to me because they feel that in some styles of music I can be good. For example, if they have like a hip hop brief, like a hip hop a remix or trailerization, like for a trailer, they will ask me to do it because they know that I'm working in hip hop music for like years now, and they know that I can be good at trailerized hip hop, like trailerized hip hop. Sorry, so um, being unique for me, it's one way to stand out, of course, and the second thing is most of the time when you are doing a remix, for example, you really need to think about a different approach, like something that you will do that any like other composers will not do, or maybe they will not think about that. And that's why I'm trying to do when I'm doing trailerization, because most of the time when I'm doing custom music, it's remixes or trailerization of a track, like an existing track. So I'm really like, I think I'm spending at least 2 hours or maybe three to find out what could be a good way to remix it or to tolerize it, you know. And sometimes um I'm using like a bunch of ideas, and sometimes I will play with the vocals. So I will maybe use like some effects on the vocals. Sometimes I will half time the melody. You know, half time. Yeah. So sometimes I will half time the melody, and I will put that in the introduction part. Sometimes I will reverse the melody, and I will put a big reverb in it. It will give you like a big ambience, and it will help to build like a kind of like momentum in the track, and and um, and it will help you also like bring like add some textures in the track. So I think it's that, in fact it's a everything you can do like in an original way to like to give like some kind of uniqueness in your track.
Hmm. How did it feel to land your first trailer, and when was that?
Okay, so my first trailer was 2 3 in okay, so it was 2 years ago. I landed my first trailer placement. It was on a video game, and To be honest, it was great because I was like, okay, so yeah, it's getting real. So yeah, okay, so yeah, I can do that. It's it's really hard to express because I was really surprised, to be honest. To be honest, it's like, okay, damn, it's okay, yeah, I can do that. And when you are saying that on the, it was a video game, and they posted the trailer on YouTube, and the music supervisor sent me the link, and maybe I watched it. I watched it maybe, I don't know, maybe 50, 50 times. I don't know. It was crazy because I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, it's my music, yeah. So yeah,
Let me just
I
listen
got
again. Let me just listen again.
let's, yeah, it's my music, yeah. So it was
Oh.
really like, I was really happy, obviously, and but yeah, I was so surprised at the same time, yeah. And to be honest, in that track was really unique. I didn't think that track would be used in a trailer because uh, I felt that it was so unique that people will think that it's weird, because in that track, it's like the main melody is my voice, so it's my voice doing something like that. It's like a yeah, yeah, yeah. The main melody is that, and
I
they
can see
like
that.
it.
I can hear that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny to see that, but yeah. So it was really cool. Yeah, the first one was, but every placement, it's like I'm surprised. To be honest, I feel that okay, so I'm doing good, but yeah, even if when the music supervisor is telling you that you got it, I'm like, oh yeah, ah yeah. So yeah, it's surprising, but yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I love it, and I'm so actually really really happy for you. You know, it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's this is the this is the place trailer composers want to be in, and in general, you know, like people want to make a living out of music. People who are listening to this, you know, are basically normal people, musicians who just want to do it, you know, to do
mhm,
the thing, and to make a decent living doing it. And I love it. It's just, I feel like the weirder the track is, the less I expect it to be placed, and the more and the more it has a chance to be placed because it's so different.
mhm,
I was telling a friend of mine where I made an EP, just an EP. You know, usually people put tens or hundreds of tracks in a library to get some stuff going for them, but
mhm,
I put an EP, 4 tracks, and these tracks are the weirdest tracks I've made to that point till that point. It's guitar trap with really like moody guitars, like really
yeah,
weird
I feel
augmented
you. Yeah.
melodies and just like weird creepy stuff. And then like 2 soap operas used it in the same year. One soap opera in France actually, Cirque de Soleil, I think it's the name.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, I
it
get it.
used it, and they used it in a very, I don't know, they used it a lot is my theory. I didn't understand exactly what happened there, but but I just got a bunch of money like with these tracks that I just put, and never thought I would get something back like that from these tracks.
Mhm,
I never
mhm,
thought of it. They
mhm,
were
mhm,
just weird shit that I put out. And that's why, I mean, like, for me right now, I'm in a place where I'm thinking to myself, okay, like what is the next thing, you know, like not what is happening right now, what is the next thing, you know, like if trailers are doing this right now, what can I guess would be the next thing? And then, I mean, the answer is the next thing would be the next unique thing, right?
mhm,
So it has to come from a place of freedom, right? Like
Yeah.
of something of innovation. It can't come from like, okay, I have to make the next thing. It's just like, where does your energy really flow? And I mean, that's why I feel like people who are making a lot of tension tracks, that is going to be replaced. That is the
Mm-hmm.
first thing that's going to be replaced by AI, because
Yeah.
unless it's like really crazy stuff,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which tension tracks are not supposed to be, then it would be very easy for them to kind of take this pattern, this pulse, put it with these pads and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like that's where AI doesn't is not going to have a say for the few years. And I hope, I mean, I'm saying it hopefully, but I also feel it like, as humans, we've always learned to deal with situations, so it
Mm-hmm.
can be used for in a very good way as well. So man, I just like, I wish I had 5 hours to speak to you, but we're keeping it short today. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, like, what, um, if you had to describe your production style in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, if we wrote, oh man. Um, okay, so I would say mostly my style is like it's cinematic hip hop. To be honest, this is my style. But yeah, it's hard because in that style, I will put like a lot of sound design, or like I will try to add a lot of tension with a lot of like stop downs, uh, stop downs, or like a lot of drums, small drums part. Um, and yeah, I will try to work a lot of the production side to try to do something unique. So I would say cinematic hip hop with a lot of uniqueness. Okay, at least I'm trying.
You got it. You got it. Yeah. Unique. I would just say, yeah, unique cinematic style. I don't know.
Yeah, yes, of
Anyway,
course.
what is a mistake you see a lot of people do that you wish uh, you see less people doing? What is a mistake maybe that you've done in the beginning that you want to advise others not to do?
Oh man, only one,
One, only one.
only
I don't
one.
have time.
I would say that don't try to copy others. I think that you really need to. You can be inspired by other composers, but don't try to copy, because a copy is already better than the original. So be an expert in what you do, and try to be original. Try to be yourself and to be the most original as possible.
Yep. It's now more than ever. It's needed.
Yes.
And what is the last parting piece of advice you would give to any composer out there looking to achieve something like you've achieved?
Mm. Okay, so just one.
That's fun.
So yeah, to be honest, it's hard because I'm still learning. To be honest, I'm still learning a lot, and I think that one thing is, you really need to think that artist now is an entrepreneur. So artist for me is really an entrepreneur today. So really important thing is to really understand your client needs. So it means that you will probably work with music supervisors or aid agencies or libraries, whatever. You will work with them probably because you are good at what you are doing, but also because they will like you. Maybe you will be, for example, you will work fast. Maybe you will make the process easier for them. Maybe it will be because of your personality. And I figure out that in the past years, a lot of music supervisors are working with me not because they are thinking I'm the best in like the music I'm doing. They are working with me because they feel that it's fun to work with me and I can bring things on the table that other composers will not do.
Fire.
So that's
Fire.
it.
Yeah. Where can people find you? Where can people connect with you?
Oh, Instagram, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm a lot of on Instagram, so yeah, they can like reach out to me on Instagram, of course.
What's the
I'm
hashtag?
always I'm answering to everyone, and when people are sending me music, I will listen to. I'm listening to everything. It just sometimes I don't have time to answer to everyone, but yeah, I'm always trying to because maybe I'm thinking that the next step would be to create my own music agency. So yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's try to to find composers who are good and yeah, maybe work with them because
Yeah.
collaboration is key. So yeah, I think that it can be good to maybe to like to start thinking about creating something on my own. So yeah, so I'm listening to everything people are sending me.
Word. Man, Lionel, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This was such a huge one with a lot of gems. So I can't wait to hear the feedback from it and sending you much love and catch you soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate your work and yeah, yeah, keep going.